Hello there, Carl back in the studio. This is Lockdown 2 and the first of our videos that we're going to make for you. Today's one is about golf balls, and we often get asked in the shop as people are about to buy golf balls is what you're getting for your money for the different price points and what do they do for you. So today we've got a really interesting experiment with fascinating results actually, based on 3 ranges of golf balls: the budget range, the mid price point range and the premium range. So you're talking around about £1 a ball for the bottom ball, £7.95-ish for a sleeve of golf balls in the mid price point, and then the £10 to £12 premium range golf balls at the top end. And what we've done is we've hit all these golf balls extensively with a driver, and then we've played a 50-yard shot with a wedge, and we just wanted to show you what the difference is between the golf balls so you can make an informed decision on what's best for your game. So stay tuned, have a look at the data, and we'll be back with some conclusions at the end.
Before we go and have a look at the results, let's have a look at some of the claims these balls are making. This is our budget ball, 10 yards longer with amazing soft feel is the claim on the packet. This is the sort of ball that will cost you about £1 a go, and you buy them in 12s or 15s at Costco or find them in the trees. Our second ball was the Titleist Velocity. This claims to have been designed for low spin to maximise distance throughout the bag. So again, we'll have a look at that claim. About £7.50 a sleeve, something like that, mid-range ball. And the last one, we took the Pro V1 as our premium ball. This claims extraordinary distance and very soft feel in the same breath. So we'll have a look. Somebody's not telling the truth, and we all will be revealed when we have a look at the data. I know for perfect results we'd need one of those robotic ball hitting machines, but in the absence of that I quite like the human element in these tests, and this is my ball hitting machine, our Harry. And I know we don't all hit the ball 300 yards like he does, but we did make sure that every swing we recorded in the data had the same club head speed to give every ball a fair chance.
Okay, so let's have a look at what actually happened. You can see I've listed the balls from top to bottom, premium, mid-range, budget, on the screen, and let your eyes wander straight over to the most important column, the carry distance, and you'll see that there's only 8 yards difference between top and bottom. So that hardly justifies a £1 ball and 4 times more expensively a premium ball, the 8 yards difference. However, if we look a little bit more closely, we're beginning to see differences emerge. So in the ball speed column, you'll see that given that these shots were the same clubhead speed at 110 miles an hour, the ball speed is deteriorating as the ball gets cheaper. This is due to the composition of the ball, the way the core and the multiple layers below the skin of the ball transmit energy back after the strike through the golf ball and send it up down the fairway. You'll also notice that the launch angle, particularly in the budget ball, is significantly higher. Again, due to the composition of the ball, it reacts very differently off the face. And then in the backspin column, you can see again the budget ball is 25% lower backspin rate than the other 2 balls. Now, whilst this is quite desirable for ultimate distance, it actually reduces the stability of the flight of the ball quite considerably. So anything below about 2,300 revs of backspin is a ball flight which is becoming unstable, and if you were to hit an errant shot, this will be magnified by a ball that has too little backspin on it. So overall, we can say that driver distance isn't affected too much by a budget ball over a premium ball, but losing 8 miles an hour of ball speed is something that I wouldn't want to be giving away, and gaining a bit more backspin with the premium ball to stabilise the ball flight, making me hit more fairways, is worthwhile also. Whether or not it's worth the full difference in price, let's have a look at the short game and see if there's some differences there which help us make a decision. So all the short game shots were hit with the same lofted wedge into a 50-yard target, and we only kept in the shots which were very, very similar for data purposes. And we can see now some really big differences start to emerge with these balls. If you look at the premium Pro V1 at the top there, the backspin of 7,800 yards compared to the budget ball at 4,100 yards. This is a significant difference. And really will affect how you control the golf ball on the golf course. If you look on the far side, on the right hand side of the screen, you'll see that the Pro V1 carried 50 yards, finished at 50 yards, so very predictable on where it was going to stop. The budget ball has rolled out 4 yards, and that's even on our software here, which is set to very receptive greens. At Woking, the greens get very firm, and this can be a 10 to 12 yard run out in real life on the golf course. And we all know the effect this has on scoring. If you watch TV and watch the top pros play, you'll see that when the courses are presented with really firm greens and they can't stop the ball, the scoring is much, much worse than on weeks where they can literally play darts and throw the ball where they want it to stop. Also, there's a big difference in launch angle here, from 30 degrees up to 36 with a budget ball. And this is due to the construction of the inner workings of the ball, or the core. And once we get a very high flighted shot with no spin on it, it's incredibly hard to judge where that ball is going to land and then what it's going to do when it lands. So we're seeing here some bigger differences than we saw in the driver, but it's quite clear to see that the Pro V1 ball in our test not only goes the furthest, but then spins nearly twice as much as the budget ball on short shots. So that's pretty much doing what it said on the tin. It's long and it's very controllable with short game shots. The budget ball, probably not telling the truth there. I don't think it's 10 yards longer, and it doesn't look to have exceptional feel because the spin rate is so low. So it looks quite clear that if you want the longest ball off the tee, then you need to be using the premium ball. And if you want the most control into the greens, you also need to be using the premium ball. I think there's a misconception out there in the marketplace that the Pro V1 or the premium balls don't go as far as some of the other balls, and that the distance specific balls maybe go further. But our tests have revealed quite clearly that that isn't the case, and really it comes down to budget. If you don't mind spending the money on golf balls and want the best performance, use the premium ones. If you lose too many and you want to keep the cost down a little bit, come down the range bit by bit and your performance of the golf ball will be slightly affected, but I wouldn't go down to the bottom end of the market because it makes it very difficult to control the ball when you approach the greens. One of the things that is very hard to put across in a video to you here is actually the feel of the golf balls as they hit the club face, and you'll all have felt the difference between a ball that feels good and a ball that doesn't feel so good. Normally we associate the softer balls, the softer covered balls, with a nicer feel. Some people prefer a much harder, stony, pebbly-like feel off the face, perhaps a driver, but round the greens it's generally perceived that the softer ball is better. That's because more of the golf ball is compressing as you hit the club face. So it's very, very clear when you do a length of test that Harry and I have done today in here, that the more you pay for a golf ball at the premium end, the better it feels off the club face. And actually, as regard your game, what I would suggest is wherever you end up in the ball market, stay consistent to the type of ball that you're buying, or even exactly the type of ball you're buying, because over time you'll get to judge how that ball reacts. And as you've seen today from the results, they react very, very differently, not only in terms of spin, but also, rather surprisingly, in terms of the launch angle and the flight characteristics that you will be anticipating, especially with short game shots. So that concludes our video today on golf balls at the 3 ranges. Thanks very much for watching. We'll be back to make some more during lockdown for your viewing pleasure. Until then, please do keep safe, and fingers crossed we'll see you in the early part of December back for some real golf. Take care. Bye for now.